2014, so over a year ago, the Representative Denise Ford asked the question of some of the people who are here representing the construction consortium, that's Hayes and Sawyer and Arcadis, and Mike DiNicolia, who was giving testimony at that time in response to Legislator Ford's question about the terrible noise that the community was suffering because of temporary generators that were still operating some 18 months after the event. And in response to that, and I just we'll go and look at the record here. He states, Mr. DiNicolia, that we have 90 decibels at the fence line. I live about 100 feet from the fence line. There's a lot of residents that are close to that fence line. 90 decibels at the fence line. Now that spring and summer are coming, we're going to put in sound attenuation baffles. Well, that was never done. Those generators operated all through last summer. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It wasn't until the anniversary of Sandy that they were shut off. But I'll tell you this, if you go down there today, those generators are running again. Your temporary generators, and if I open up my window to talk to you on the phone, you won't be able to hear me. Now, I pulled an article out of the Daily News with Tony Abella, who was a state He's a state senator for Queens, represents Bayside, complaining about airport noise. And again, airport noise over Bayside is intermittent, right? It's not what we have, which is a freight train that never actually gets to the station. But if you stand on the station here at Mineola and you hear that train coming, right? And it's a diesel coming out of Oyster Bay, you'll know that it kind of rocks your world when it goes by. But that's what we got. But the train never comes by, and it runs 24/7. And there's been no attempt to put any sound attenuation baffles. There's been no attempt to alleviate that. But anyway, going back to that article, there's a quote here. He quotes it at 91 decibels. 91 decibels is what the FAA website stated that the noise level was coming in after Mr. Rabella's inquiry regarding the noise in Bayside. The CDC states that anything above 85 decibel levels is hazardous to your health, and you should wear ear protection. I just harken back, there was a young lady here who was from, I believe it was Great Neck Schools, and she did a wonderful job, as we're proud of all of them, but her particular social science experiment was the trolley experiment. And I would put forth to you that the trolley experiment that Nassau County is running on my community is to see how much we can endure, right? We call up, now that United Water's taken over, we get promised there's going to be meetings. The meetings are canceled, there's no public notification. We get promised they're going to clean the streets. The streets remain cleaned, you have to call, you call United Water, and United Water says, well, that sounds like it's a matter for Nassau County. You call Nassau County, it says that sounds like it's a matter for United Water. So it's management through silos taken to the nth degree, right? So
yeah, 3 minutes have expired, sir.
Okay, we feel like we're the experiment, and that's what I had to say. Thank you very much.
Mr. Kenny.
Hold on, Mr. Kenny, first of all, thank you for staying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very much for staying. You're entitled to have your say, like you had sat here through everything. So just to let you know, my assistant did call it, and you really are very calm, you know, with the situation that you're going through right now. And, you know, when we had those meetings, even when we did the tour of the plant and we had another meeting at night with the Bay Park Sewage Civic Association, you know, they were telling us that this work was going to be continued, so forth and so forth. And of course, the backup generators were shut down then in October, and of course during the cold winter when everybody's windows were closed and the generators were working. Rich Millette is getting me the information as to why those generators have failed and why you fund the backup. I've also requested, basically demanding, next week I'm going to be out there and I expect United Water as well as DPW to meet with me. I'm going to call upon probably the head of your civic association to join me to make sure that I truly understand, like, because I want to know what work has been done so far and what work still needs to be done to the benefit of the community. And I'm very dismayed then, because it was when I attended that meeting, United Water did promise that they were going to have continuous community meetings. Now I know there is going to be a walkthrough at the end of this month, on the, I think the 27th and 28th, I forget which day it is. So I intend to be there for that as well. But I do want to meet next week so that I want to get a handle on this, because it's I don't understand why a lot of this has not been done. And I'm actually furious over it, but we will keep following up on this, all right? Because I'm not gonna let it go. And you know what, when I think about last year when they promised, oh, we'll get it done, now it seems that I'm gonna have to start making weekly visits to this place just to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Thank you very much. Any efforts in the larger legislature's part, and your part particularly, Mr. Copel, I don't see him here now, but he was here before. He knows the situation.
We've all been moved around.
We're not particularly reapportioned. We're not particularly, and that's one of the problems, is the Bay Park Civic Association, which you alluded to, doesn't represent the area that I'm a part of. We're not part of that group. So there's other communities that are, in other words, they represent the western border of the plant, where when I was over there today, you really can't hear the generators from that side. And part of what's been a problem is the county is very good at informing the Bay Park Civic Association of information.
But it's not getting
it doesn't get to the larger community that's affected even more greatly. And we're withering on the vine down there. Basically, you know, people are moving out. And people don't call anymore because they're fed up and they really feel that, you know, socioeconomically we're kind of not the highest on the radar, and we kind of feel like we're the trolley experiment and we're getting run over.
Well, you know what, I want to spare you from having to come down here and spend 6 hours of your life, you know, with something. I'd rather have it so that we're working on this, you know, and I'll make sure that, you know, we have your contact information. And please tell, well, no, he's called my office, so, and please tell the residents, I mean, call my office, 571-6204, I represent that area. And, if, you know, I'd like to say I know everything, but I don't, okay? We count upon, you know, we rely upon our residents to let us know if things are not being done, if you have any issues, any problems, I need to know, okay? And we will respond accordingly. But I want you to know that I will be down there next week. If I have to make a surprise visit, I'll make a surprise visit. I really don't care, all right? I want to get to the bottom.
Thank you very much. If you can get those generators were running last week, again before the holiday. They went out on Good Friday, right before Passover.
Right.
And nobody calls because we're kind of at the end of our ropes.
Well, I want to find out why you were on call, but it figures. Cold winter, shut windows, the generators worked. The first nice day that you could open up your windows and the backup generator, it is like they're punishing you. It's like, you know, like how much more can we take from you, and I want to stop this. Okay?
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest.
You're welcome.
We adjourned, right?
By the way, the two
It's off. Oh. It's off.